What's up, guys? In this episode, Tech and I are going to go over the permanent solution to slow sales. So in the beginning, we're going to go over just some different reasons why your sales might be slow. And in the end of the episode, we're going to go over all the different things that we do to prevent those from happening. So just a quick plug for our Patreon group. For $5, you get the full episode of every single one of our podcasts, which launches every single week. And also, you get free coaching the first Wednesday of every single month. So we just added this perk. That's the best deal in town, $5 for coaching with both Tech and Sports and I on the first Wednesday. And so you can get an idea of what we do in the Facebook group, which is that every single week. So we want to give people an opportunity to try that before they sign up for the Facebook group. So make sure you sign up now because we're launching this Thanksgiving weekend. And so you can try out that coaching at the beginning of December. So we appreciate you guys' time, and let's get into the episode. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Resellers Podcast with Tech and Sports and Daily Refinement. Today, we're going to address the most popular question, which is, why are my sales slow? And we've put together every single conspiracy theory and every single possible way your sales could be slow, and we want to get straight into it. And the main thing is, why is it that we all as sellers think that if you list more, you sell more? Because when someone reaches out to Tech, let's say, hey, Tech, my sales were slow. What is your first question?
The first question is always, how is your listing? When was the last time you listed? How many items are you getting up per day? And the answer to that question is always, oh, I haven't listed for a week, or it's been 2 weeks, or it's been 3 weeks. I haven't listed very much. So somehow, some way, there's a correlation between your listing activity and your sales activity.
Right. And it's not always like they missed an entire week. They might say, I've been listing inconsistently. And we were talking before the podcast, it's not really realistic for people to list 365 days a year. Although I have not missed a day in a year. You haven't missed a day in a decade.
Yeah, correct. And by doing that, the sales are level year round. There's no horrible days. It's just every day is a great day because every day the store is consistently getting that many items per day.
And there's something that veterans do almost no matter what. I went to eBay Open. It was 5 days long. And I would always bump into people. I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, well, I just got to launch my 13 listings today. I got to launch my 42 listings today. You see people in the corner in the casino launching listings and then going back to the conference because they were programmed. But then on the flip side, we've never heard of an example of someone that lists every day for a month and their sales aren't amazing.
Yeah, if you list every single day for a month and you have a quality listing and quality items, I've never met the person that says my sales are slow if they've listed every day for a month, quality items, quality listing.
So I wanted to ask you what you think of this because a lot of drop shippers talk to me, and there's the big software company that runs drop shipping is called Zik Analytics. They compile all the information on eBay and then they give it to the drop sellers to try to figure out. So you, with an average sale price of $29, this is some information from the drop shipping company. And they say 90% of items on eBay sell for less than $30. Do you feel like it's not a coincidence that your $29 is ASP?
I think the $29 average sale price, that includes shipping as well. So my items are in probably the low 20s buy cost and then a couple bucks more for shipping.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that coincidence, I think it is true and I fully believe it. But I think that coincidence is the maximum level of items that you can find at the thrift or at garage sales or at the flea market.
Mm-hmm.
Buy for 5 or less, sometimes 7, and then you can do 5 to 30 all day. And I think that's the absolute sweet spot in reselling clothing, because I think that if an item is worth more than $30, people will be less hesitant to donate it. Maybe they'll try to sell it themselves. And if something is worth 30 or less, I think that's something that's more easily discarded. So I've built my business around $5 to $7 buying cost, $25 to $30 sell price. So when I do find items that are worth 50, 60, 100, 200 or more, those do take a very long time to sell. And I'll sell thousands or tens of thousands of items that are $29 and under before I'll sell a $200 sweater. So I think it's the reverse of people will donate something for $30, but not everyone can afford a $200 sweater, but a lot of people can afford a $28 sweater.
That being said, the same study that they put out shows that 50% of items sell for under $12. So that makes me think that because you do something I'll notice a lot of big sellers do, which is they have a $9.99 plus shipping, a $12.99 plus shipping, $15.99. They have different price points because that's like somebody can buy that without worrying about it.
Yeah, and I remember when we talked a long time ago, maybe 5 years ago, you said that Gap does the same thing. They have
Yeah.
different price points almost for different customers. So like not every customer can afford the $30 sweater, but I'll have a $20 sweater or a $15 sweater. Not every customer can afford the $30 t-shirt, but I'll have the 15 and under t-shirts. So I have price buckets for every customer. And like you said, Gap does that with like different scales for different items as well. And I think a lot of other businesses probably do the same.
So they always actually, if you go to the mall right now, every single store has a 20% off, like a given on every single item. So markdowns are important. When you're on eBay, you want to give the perception that people are getting a good deal. Do you do any promotions like order discounts or markdowns? What do you do in your store?
I do a markdown promotion. After 45 days, for 45 days, an item will be regular price. After 45 days, I'll mark it down 20%, and then it stays 20% from there on out. So this topic is about how do we combat slow sales. So my philosophy of how to combat the slow sales is that I 20% discount on all items that are 45 days and older. And then, every reseller, everyone on Instagram, on eBay, they all know about, the dreaded summer slowdown. So every year around April or May, I'll sort my store by age, and the items that I've had for the longest, I'll mark those down from 20% to 30% for the month of May. And then the next month I'll go 40%. The next month I'll go 50%. And by the time I'm marking down items 30, 40, 50%, pretty much everything is selling at that point. And since we're buying items so cheap, even me selling them at 50% off, I'm still able to turn a great profit and a good ROI. But that just brings it back to the topic of doing that kind of markdown policy and that kind of sales policy that prevents any kind of summer slowdown for my store. So I've never had a summer slowdown because all year I'm giving deals, I'm doing promotions, I'm doing markdowns. And my summer sales oftentimes are bigger than Q1 or Q3 because I'm marking down the items. And yeah, I am giving the buyer something for 30 or 40% off, but I'm still making great profit. I'm turning items at sale or slow for one reason or another. And the most important thing in the business is cash flow. Just an enormous amount of cash flow comes in the summer, and then you can reload and get ready for Q4 and whatnot.
This is important to understand too, because seasonality is a real thing. Last year during this time, I bought hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pairs of sandals because they're on sale in the wintertime. And they didn't sell till probably end of April. And also now this year, I decided to double down on that, and I'm buying shorts because they're everywhere. You can get you can go to the outlet and brand new shorts are selling for $5 to $10 new because they can't get rid of them. And also people aren't traveling as much right now. So if you look at seasonality, usually when that's the season, that's not on sale. So people are saying right now, I'm having a hard time finding jackets. Of course you are, because this is not the time to get it. It's too late. You've got to wait till it's warm.
Yeah, and back in the day, like when I used to go to real stores and go shopping for clothes before I figured out thrift stores and whatnot, I remember like going to Marshall's like in June in Florida, and all they had was heavy duty jackets because Macy's and whatnot had already gotten rid of them after the winter, and Marshall's is trying to sell them in the dead of summer in Florida, heavy duty goose down jackets.
That's a really good point. Marshall's is 1 or 2 seasons behind.
Hmm.
So they're going to have winter in the summer and summer in the winter. And also something to keep in mind, if you are doing online arbitrage at Marshalls and Ross, you're going to find the plus sizes because there's not the traffic to sell a 4XL, 5XL item. But on eBay, it's going to sell great because it's
Yeah.
hard to find that stuff.
Right.
So now, we've talked about seasonality, talked about summer slowdown. We're going to go the other direction right now and talk about a Black Friday sale. People talk about right now, should they be running promotions from now till the end of the year? It's the time that has the most traffic online. Should people be trying anything different? Do you do anything different?
For me, I don't run any kind of special Black Friday sale or anything, but these next 4 or 5 weeks between now and the end of the year are what we work the entire year for. So like every single day when you're listing and you don't want to list, or you're having a tough day and you don't want to list, like all of that work, this is the peak of all of that work these next 4 to 5 weeks. So like it would be a good idea to maybe increase your promoted listing slightly to get more visibility, increase your markdown manager slightly, do some order discounts, accept more offers, get more activity into the store. The only reason why I don't do like a special dedicated Black Friday is because my store is so large, and to spend the time to do an entire sale just for one day, um, I'll just accept the offers that come in and make deals that way. But it's just a lot of time to do that for a 1 day sale for me.
Do you feel like accepting a low offer early in the day triggers the algorithm to give you more traffic? That's a pretty popular conspiracy.
I know Monica brought that up last week, and I think she calls that like taking one for the team. But I know when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I go through all the offers that came in the night over the night, and I answer messages real quick in the morning. So the first thing in the morning at 6 a.m., I probably have maybe 70 offers that came in overnight. And at 6 a.m., I get a burst of 30, 35, 40 sales off of those offers that came in overnight. Like you said previously, like you show eBay, you're awake, you're home, the lights are on. So like at 6 a.m. in the morning, I'm responding to offers. eBay knows I'm home, I'm awake, I'm replying, I'm accepting offers. So maybe in a roundabout way, I kind of do that naturally, but that's the first thing that I do every single morning is get those offers situated, get those messages replied to, and tell eBay I'm awake and ready to work.
I think it's really important, guys. Obviously, if you were eBay, you'd want to reward active sellers too, probably. But when you're being active, do things that increase your bottom line. Answer offers, list items. Somebody emailed me that they delete the eBay app on their phone and re-download it every morning to show eBay that they're active. That's not related to making more money. So it's something you are being active, but it's not improving your bottom line. Use that energy to list another item.
I think something that's very, very important is when you do get an offer, try to respond as quickly as possible, because at the end of the day, you're not the only seller on eBay. You're not the only seller that has that item. So if someone sends you an offer for $19.99 for an item that you have for $25, if you take your sweet time and you reply to them tomorrow or tonight or 42 hours from now, that buyer has already moved on and they're going to buy something from somebody else. A lot of Everybody has it in their nature to be super compulsive. Maybe at the time they did want that item, but 4 hours later they don't want the item. So I try to respond to the offers immediately, lock them in while I have their attention. Or if the offer is a little bit low, respond to them almost immediately because I still have their attention. The same thing goes for a message. If someone asks me a question about an item, I have their attention. The way that I look at a message from somebody is they're trying to give me money. Some kind of way they're trying to give me money. They're reaching out to give me money. What is this? What is that? How is this? How is this? Like you're trying to give me money. So if you ask me a question about a Tommy Bahama shirt, I'll respond to the offer and then I'll search my own store for Tommy Bahama extra large and I'll link them and say, hey, if you like Tommy Bahama shirts, here's what I have in Tommy Bahama extra large. And I probably have 300 more. And if he's looking at Tommy Bahama extra large, come by 2, come by 3, come by 4. I'll combine shipping, save you money. You don't have to shop around with a bunch of other bozos. You know you're going to get what you want, one combined rate, one seller to deal with. And if you could do that quickly, the buyer's engaged. If I wait till tomorrow to send that message, he doesn't care. He's watching football.
That's right. And sometimes they don't even remember.
Yeah.
You can counter offer, and this happens too. Maybe you do counter offer somebody right away, but they don't have notifications turned on, or they whatever, and you counter offer, or you accept. You get the message, hey, I didn't mean to buy this, I don't remember, because they've already bought something else. If you investigate, they just forgot. So if you are there, if they are still holding their phone, you've got a good chance that it's either going to be a counteroffer or a decline, or you're going to find out right away.
And you'll get less unpaid item cases, because if you wait 2 days to respond, they don't want it anymore. They're not going to pay. If you accept that offer immediately, they don't have time to shop around for a better price or a cheaper price. They're locked in. They have to buy the item. So like my unpaid item cases are very, very minimal because I lock people in immediately.
So we're going to talk about things that are guaranteed to reduce your traffic. The top one for sure is definitely falling below standard. That's when you have too many defects. So either you have too many late shipments, or you have too many cases opened and you didn't answer them. You want to speak on that for a moment? Falling below standard is very costly.
Very costly. And that's like, that'll be the ultimate killer to your business, because when you fall below standard, you do get a decrease in search ranks. Because why would eBay be inclined to give you the top search results when you haven't portrayed to eBay that you're responsible enough to get this item out on time? You haven't portrayed to eBay that you're responsible enough to take care of the customer if there is an issue. eBay had to step in and gave you a defect, one defect too many. Now you're below standard. So if eBay doesn't trust you to do right by the customer, to provide to the customer what you advertise, such as 1 business day handling time, or 2, whatever your handling time is, whatever you advertise, they expect you to deliver to the customer, and that's only right. So if you can't do that, eBay is not going to give you prime real estate in the search. So if you're below standard, you're going to be on page 2, page 3. And what do they call it? They call that below the fold. Like if you're below the fold and you have to go to page 2, your item is never going to sell. So when people message me and say, hey, I'm below standard for XYZ, how can I fix this? My answer to that always is, how much money do you want to lose? Because the only way how to fix that is by getting your percentage back on the opposite side, and then you're above standard. So the only way to do that is to sell a whole bunch of items successfully, correctly, on-time shipping, resolve any issues. And in order to sell a bunch of items very quickly when you have a decrease in search rank, is by losing a whole bunch of money, because you're going to have to sell cheap items very quickly. And if you want to maintain trying to get top dollar for your items, you could be below standard from, now until the cows come home. So, it's just a matter of how much money you want to lose to get back into eBay's good graces. And, at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to deliver what we advertise to the customer. So if you can't do that, then eBay has every right to put you below standard.
So we want to kind of squash some of the conspiracies about like needing to ship right away, like during the middle of the day if you get an order. If you ship within the estimated delivery time, if you say 1 day handling time and you ship in 1 day, eBay is not going to penalize you. It may feel like if you print the label right away, they'll give you another sale, but eBay is not playing games. They're huge. They just want you to ship on time.
Yeah, I think so too. I always ship in the morning. That's just part of my workflow and my schedule. I like to ship in the morning because shipping is the only thing that has a deadline. The post office closes, and I don't like to wait late in the day and then ship and have to rush and hurry. So I always try to do it first thing in the morning. But by this time, nighttime, I have probably over 100 items that are awaiting shipment. And is eBay punishing me for that? I don't think so, because probably eBay knows I ship every morning, so they're kind of on the same page with that.
Yeah. Let's talk about not listing. That's probably the most painful thing because people can't really list every day. At least normal people don't do that. But how do you think of it? Is it like part of something you do how do you work that into your day so that you make sure it happens?
It's almost like a religion at this point, honestly, after doing it for so long. There's no negotiation or ifs, ands, or buts about doing it. And, you know, for eBay and for this business, this is the only business that is going to reward you for the amount of effort that you put in. If you spend your time and you list one item a day for 365 days, you're going to get the results of listing one item per day. Every single time that I've increased my listings from 20 a day to 50 a day to 70 a day to 100 to 120 to 160, now 250 per day, the sales have also followed those incremental bumps in listing. So, it just goes back to what we said earlier of it's impossible to list quality items every single day for 30 days and not get sales. So I try to list 250 quality perfect listings every single day, and there will never be a day where I have to go to Chris and say, hey dude, I listed 250 items every single day for the last 2 weeks, quality listings, and I have no sales. It's literally impossible, and there's no other business that is going to reward you for the amount of effort that you put in. Because I think, we talked about this before, like my tree service, I could have the best guys, the best uniforms, the best equipment, everyone shows up on time, everyone's fully prepared, we have oil, we have grease, and the phone doesn't ring that day. So like the effort is there to do the work, but the phone doesn't ring. So like for eBay, if you give part-time effort, you're going to get part-time results. If you give full-time effort, you're going to get full-time results. And, if you want to, try to help slow sales, you have to put the additional effort in. That's just the bottom line.
So just a reminder, the remainder of the episode is on Patreon at patreon.com/the Resellers Podcast. For $5, you get access to all of our episodes in the full version. This episode is actually an hour long, so you get an additional 40 minutes, and you get monthly coaching. So the first Wednesday of every single month, we do an all hands on deck call with every single member, and there's over 300 people now, so it's really exciting to get in there and get all the questions answered from all those people. And that's a taste of what our Facebook group is like, where you can get answers pretty much instantly, and we get weekly coaching. So we'll see you guys on Patreon. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make progress daily.